You know what I like about Doing Life with Jesus podcast? I love that I can literally talk about all the real stuff, like all the real stuff that we go through with God, all the teaching that we go through, all of the fact that he sees greater things than we can see, and we need to align our faith with his vision so we can get there. Y'all, I love the opportunity to talk about the goodness of God. But I want to talk about preparing for what God has. Preparing for what God has for you, what he predestined for you. Before the foundation of the world, he predestined something for you, right? And I want to talk about how we get there. So for me, I've always understood that everybody has this special thing about themselves, right? And it's identified through our family, sometimes identified through our behaviors, through our personalities. But every part of our life is a glimpse into who God created us to be originally, right? As individuals for him, like to give him glory. And I remember I still have this. I actually still have this. Maybe I should put this up on my website. So I created something called 21 Ways to Know Your Purpose. Now, this was originally for my business called Launching with Purpose. That's a part of God's desire for me too, but we'll get into that later. And I wasn't sure, like, how am I supposed to know what to do with this? Like, I know, God, you want me to do something with it, but I need clarity. I don't really know. And so anyway, I created this 21 ways to know your purpose. And it's really just a PDF, and it's 21 questions to ask yourself in order to find out who God says you are. How do you know what God desires for you? If you guys want something like that, just let me know down in the comments and I'll put it up on my website. But anyway, I created this because I knew that everybody could find out what God desired, what God's will, what his intention, what his desires for their life is. And just thinking about myself, y'all, I love me some business. I love to take something or take nothing and make it into something. I love the fact that I can be creative. I love being silly, but I really like business now. I like the fun parts of business. Okay. I like the fun parts. And so getting more on my point here, I knew God set me apart for something and I didn't quite know what, right? I'm not going to say I'm super different from my family, but I'm definitely different. In my opinion, I could be the spitting image. Everything's the same for all I know. But in my mind, I feel different from my family. Just connecting wise, I just don't feel like the connecting part is really there. And I love my family. I absolutely love my family. But it's just almost like a different language or a different dialect. You know, there's a difference between somebody who is in the South and then somebody who is, where else? New York. Oh my goodness. The accents, both of them are so strong. It's the same language. Like I understand, but we just don't, like if you put us in the room together and you ask us to say the same sentence, it's going to sound very different. Nonetheless, God has called me to do some great things in the earth, and he's been revealing things to me over time. And I didn't quite understand, like, how exactly am I supposed to do this stuff, Lord? Because nobody around me can help me. It seems like, it's just everything in life just seems like a perfect timing type of thing as opposed to perfectly planned type of thing. But I don't want us to get so caught up on the, well, it's God's timing part when there's still a planning part that we have to do. And so for me, I know that God has called me to ministry, right? I just recently accepted that. And that's why I'm doing so much more with Doing Life with Jesus Ministries, from doing the things that I wish I would have had when I was newer in my faith, right? Newer to actually obeying God, because I always knew the Lord. I just decided at one point in time, I'm going to live for him, right? And still to this day, I just made it. I wanted to make it known. There was a specific time where I was like, Lord, I need you. And so he filled me with his spirit, gave me a new language, washed me clean in his blood. Hallelujah. And then he set me on this journey to experiencing more of him and getting to know what I'm supposed to be doing here on this earth. And so, y'all, just because you're born again does not mean you know absolutely everything. It means that you have access to the one who knows absolutely everything, right? And you can be confident that he will lead you into absolutely everything. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely everything that you need to be led into. And for me, if I can be honest, I took some time to be disobedient, I guess. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. But yeah. And, honestly, a part of it was willful disobedience. And the other part was I did not know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if I mentioned it here already on this podcast, but I remember when I had a vision back in 2016, and Jesus came to me in the vision and he asked me a question and he said, "Are you ready?" And I was like, no, I'm not. And he smiled at me and he just walked away. And that was it. That was the whole vision. And y'all, it took me so long. It took me 8 whole years. 8 whole years to understand what the Lord was talking about. Literally last week. I don't know when you're going to be watching this. Actually, it's going to be, the Lord revealed it to me in 2023. The Lord revealed it to me in 2023. It's been 8 years. And you know why I believe the Lord revealed it to me? Because I was ready. I was ready to accept everything that comes with answering the call and being prepared for what he called me to do. I was ready. And so many things happen before you're ready and after you're ready. Before you're ready, you're in disobedience, right? If I'm going to be honest. Before you're ready, you're in disobedience. You're still trying to figure out things. You're still trying to accept who God really made you to be. Just the basic level of you. Like, honey, I just made you to be a child of God. Can you just be my child? Like the basic things, right? Love, fruits of the spirit, like just super basic things. Letting go of the sinful life, the sinful nature, understanding why you need to let it go because it's killing you, giving you more understanding and revelation of spiritual matters, spiritual things. You know what I'm saying? There's that phase before you're really ready to go into what God has called you to, where you're getting it's a sanctification process. It's a sanctification process. It is a washing of your flesh, of your spirit. It's a washing. That's what I think about. Back in the day, they had those washboards and they take the cloth with the detergent and stuff in it and they just wash it, like rub it against the board really hard. That's what's happening. God is purifying you in this process. It's a purification process, y'all. That's the disobedient part. It's a purification process. There is so much grace in that process, though. Let me tell you, that place is meant for grace to abound. Y'all, that place, before you figure it out, before you understand, before you get complete revelation, before you really get it, I've come to that point to where I really get it. And it was hard for me to say yes because, child, it was hard for me to say yes because I know that grace is going to look different. And this is my opinion. You might think otherwise. But there is a point, and this is my opinion, but there is a point where grace don't look the same, friends. It don't look the same, because now you know better. There comes a point, whomever's watching this, you might have a sibling, you might have a child or whatever. You have a certain expectation on someone because you know that they know the right thing to do, but they willfully choose not to do it. They have received the full revelation, the full understanding of the consequence, but they choose not to follow it. Grace looks different. Now, grace looks like being let go to a reprobate mind. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't with that. And so I'm like, Lord, I'm not a child anymore. Technically, I'm always God's child, but it's different. You got a different responsibility. Children, honey, they can go in the refrigerator, eat whatever they want to, put the dishes in the sink and go on about their business. No, not when you become a teenager. You better get up in there and wash them dishes. You put them dishes in there. You better go wash them dishes. You better go wash them dishes. You big enough. What do parents say? You old enough to make a mess. You old enough to clean it up. Child, you better go wash them dishes. Right. And seriously, that's how I see the Lord. Right. That's how I see the responsibility that God has given me. Is requested. It's not even a request. It's not even just a gift. It is a requirement. And I'm going to tell you why I think this way. Because in that moment, when I said no to Jesus, when he asked me if I was ready, first of all, I had no clue what he was talking about. None. I literally thought it was just this guy that I was messing with, and that was it. So I let the guy go. But did everything work out the way that I would hope it to after that? No, it wasn't the guy. It was more than the guy. Okay. It was way more than the guy. But I went through this process of honestly following my own way. That's really the gist of it. That's not the root, but that's the gist of what I'm saying. I was just following my own, what I thought was right, what I thought was the best, And now that I understand, or I'm sorry, let me finish this thought real quick. So when I thought I was doing the right thing, just doing my own way, I didn't think it was bad. I mean, I thought it was all right. I mean, I thought it was okay. But it turns out it was hell. It was hell because, babes, when God is trying to reveal the right things for you to do, and then you just willfully not do the right things, you're inviting hell in. All sorts of hell, all sorts of demons and evil practices and ways. You're inviting a lot of stuff in. I am really understanding this year the value and the importance and the protection that comes by being sanctified. And I know that sounds very religious to some, but y'all, you if you only knew, it has been so crazy over the past 8 years. It has been so crazy over the past 8 years. Being married, being divorced, having kids, like being by myself with my kids, having financial struggles. Oh my goodness. Health struggles. Like it has been hell. But there's something that I want us to understand and know. That when you return back to the Lord and you fully accept who God has called you to be, you accept the ministry, you accept the call, you accept the work, you accept the responsibility and the requirement. When you begin and you fully accept what God needs you to fully accept, and you're all about it, and nothing's going to take you away from it, then you're ready. You're ready to live in that place of abundance. You're ready to conquer everything that the Lord said that you would conquer. In Psalm 91, it says that you will trample over the young lion and the cobra. I think that's what it said. It's a lion and a snake, right? You will trample over them. You will have these things under your feet. Nothing will harm you. It's so beautiful to be able to walk confidently in who God says that you are, in his word. So how do I know this stuff? Because I'm still going through the process. But how do you know, Shaniqua? How do you know this? If you're still going through the process, what does that look like? Well, I know this. Y'all just want to sit back a little bit. I know this because I see the difference. Y'all, God gave me a book in February 2023. And the book is called I Am Profitable, a guide to discovering how you can turn your experiences into multiple income streams. God just gave me the book. I didn't know why he wanted me to write this book. I didn't know, I didn't know what was going to happen after that. Like, there was no clear instruction besides write this book. You know what? The moment, literally the very same week that I said yes, I declared my yes unto the Lord. It's not a salvation yes. This is a whole different yes. When I declared my declaration, when I made my declaration of yes, God, I'm going to do what you say. I'm ready to go into the ministry. I'm ready to do whatever it is that you require me to do with my life, right? The week that he said this to me, or the week that I said this to him, tell me why I got a revelation of what this book is for. Tell me why my ministry is completely clear to me. He gave me this ministry back in 2020? Tell me why I'm getting so much more clear and strategic with how I do the things that God has called me to do. Y'all, the book alone, mind blown. Because God gave me the book in February 2023, and then he was like, put it on the shelf. And I was like, okay, I'm putting it on the shelf. But I mean, you gave me a book. I'm a first time writer. This book is a miracle. 14 days from nothing to published. Amazing. Amazing. There has to be something more that you want me to do with this book. Put it on the shelf. It wasn't time. God knew, girl, you ain't even ready for it. You're not even ready for it. But you know what the Lord revealed to me with this book? He gave me, and I did not know this. I did not know this before I wrote this book. I honestly didn't know until the week that I gave God my yes. The Lord revealed to me that there's actually a biblical principle. Guess what the name of this biblical principle is? The biblical principle of profit. Y'all, completely mind blown. Completely mind blown. That as soon as I said yes to the Lord, the doors opened. I wonder how many people have not yet said yes to the Lord. And because you're not saying yes to the Lord, some doors are closed and they're not going to open, because there's a certain type of character that you need to have in order for those doors to open. And I think that's something that we don't talk about enough of. You have to be the right person to carry the weight of the responsibility that comes with the blessing that you're asking God for. Like, it's not just, here's a blessing, do as you please. No, that's not it, friends. That's not it. You got to change your mind. You got to let go of some things, and you got to accept some things. Because for me, that's really what it was. It was just accepting that this is what God wanted me to do. It was accepting that God thought I was worthy of it, that he counted me worthy to be responsible to feed the souls of those whom he loves. Like, oh my goodness, God. Wow, you think so highly of me. A lot more highly than I think of myself, if I'm going to be honest. But what I think is beautiful is as he is helping me to see myself as he sees me, he's also helping me to love me more, love me better, take care of you, girl. You're the only you got, you know? And so, that's just a couple of things that the Lord has, revealed to me so far. The other thing is my business that I said I was going to talk about. Like, y'all, when I say my yes has opened up doors that I did not expect to open up. And I'm not talking about me going on somebody's stage, although that too. I'm not talking about like people inviting me to come and speak or wanting to collab with me. I'm talking about just me and Jesus. Just me and Jesus. I think the most beautiful thing I can do with my life is fully know, accept, and understand what God called me to do. Literally, I don't know if it was last week, maybe a couple weeks ago. I was crying because I was like, God, I don't even know what you want me to do. Y'all know the podcast, that podcast episode with David Shands on Sleep is for Suckers. Y'all crying, boo-hooing. God, I just want to do what you want me to do. Yeah, and I'm serious. I am serious, but I'm grateful for that moment because it helped me to get here. It helped me to get to that place where I could truly give God my yes. Because although the world might be laughing at me, the world might be picking at me, talking about how, girl, you need to go work at Walmart because this ain't for you. Like, first of all, did you create me? Girl, shut up. Shut up. Like, shut up. Like, shut up, for real. For real. Shut up. I don't care. Honestly, like, I've had embarrassing moments before. And I do not care what people think about me in regards to my belief and my experiences with the Lord. One thing that you can laugh at me all day long, friend. But one thing I know, and that is the Lord. And I trust in the Lord, and he is not a liar. He does not manipulate. He's a perfect, gentle God, and he's faithful and he's trustworthy. He keeps his word. And so that's why I'm like, you can say whatever you want, but I know one thing, this struggle that I'm going through right now in public, y'all, God is working on it. Okay. He's doing his thing, and he has done his thing, and I'm so super blessed and highly favored for it. So anyway, you need to prepare yourself by giving God your yes. Prepare yourself to do what God called you to do by first giving him your yes, and everything else will be added unto you. Y'all, that has been the scripture of this year. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you. The revelation, the revelation that I have been getting from spending time with God over these past couple of days, week, has been beautiful. I'm so extremely blessed, y'all. I am so blessed, and I'm so excited to be able to share this journey with you. If you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, y'all, what you doing? I need more friends, and I need more friends to talk to me. So if I talk to y'all on Instagram, talk to me too. I have posts and stuff. I'll be doing all sorts of things, showing y'all all sorts of things. Not everything, because look, we're about to get into a whole different topic. That's actually going to be the next episode. Yes, y'all. We're going to be getting into being mindful of what you share with the world, because you never know who's watching and who is plotting against you. So that's what we're going to talk about on the next episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because if not, what you doing? Like, this is good. I mean, I think it's good. It's been pretty good for me. I like sitting here talking to y'all about whatever is going on in my walk with the Lord. But I hope that these episodes really help you to think about some things for your own life, right? Help you to understand what doing life with Jesus really looks like. I talk a lot about my past. I talk a lot about my present, y'all. I can't talk about the future because I'm not there yet. God is, though. But I do want to make sure that we understand what being prepared for what God has for us actually looks like. And I hope this episode kind of helped you with that. But if you're really going to be prepared, you have to be prepared to give God your complete yes. Forsaking all else, giving God your complete yes. And I'm not talking about that just salvation thing, and you can still choose what you want to do with your life type of thing. You know, I'm talking about everything. The way you eat, the way you think, the things you do, right? When God says move, you actually move. And I'm not talking about to a different state. I'm talking about any movement. Okay. It's just different when you're serving the Lord with your whole life, as opposed to your spiritual life, which is what we like to tend to do. But when we're doing life with Jesus, seriously, you're serving God with your whole life. And I'm so blessed to have a whole ministry that caters to that part of people, right? Because I always say there's 3 pillars that my ministry stands on. It stands on, number 1, being grounded in the gospel. Number 2, living out the gospel. And then number 3, pursuing your purpose with the gospel. And y'all, that's where I Am Profitable, my book, comes in. That biblical principle of profit. Y'all, stay tuned to the ministry and what's going on. All glory to the Lord. All glory to the Lord. God is so good, and I'm so blessed that I can hear clear, and I have peace, and I'm just blessed to be used by God, to be considered worthy to even carry His presence. Y'all, it's about to get into a whole preach. That's all I got for you today. Y'all be blessed. Peace.